Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going through my newest team reveal for BBL SuperCoach. I know that I looked back a couple of days ago and saw that I hadn't done one in a fair while. That being, I think about 2 weeks now that I hadn't done one, and thought I'd just give you an update, especially with all the chaos that we've seen with injuries, player sort of replacements, etc. I mean, my team would be relatively leaked through those other videos, especially the last one doing the cash generation video. But anyway, I thought I'd just talk through the team as a whole and how I'm sort of looking at it as we sort of balance out the cash gen and point scoring, and how I think you can both go too hard and sort of get yourself pinched in round one, but also you can go way too long term and then leave points on the table. So it's finding that balance between getting points in round one, but also being able to have enough cash or maneuverable assets to be able to trade out to players in round two. But anyway, let's just jump into the video here. As you can see here is the team for the moment, and it is no Maxwell 11 at the moment, given that that was upgraded, that injury, to a 4-weeker from a 1 to 2 weeker from what they sort of expected on scans, which is kind of surprising. But it is what it is there about that. Let me just go like that. So Joe Clark here, and the whole point of Joe Clark here is that we're still uncertain about Inglis and how that's going to impact Hurst. And if we just go to, we'll just use him as a trade bait here. We'll go hit keepers, and we'll go Adelaide, have an early one, Perth, have an early one, Melbourne and Melbourne Stars. If you look at all the keepers that have early games, Tim Seifert's probably the only other guy that I would consider. But yeah, so you'd have Tim Seifert for what, 3 rounds, which you could do, and then you trade him to potentially another keeper. But then again, if you look at all the keepers here and you go Brisbane Heat, they have an early-ish one, and Sydney Sixers, You look at all these keepers again and you go, Allsop is coming to Australia for the first time, I think, or playing BBL for the first time. Jimmy Pearson, we've seen what he can do before, but that was off one game that he averaged 50-odd last year, averaged 36 the year before that, 25 and 28, so he hasn't really done that before. And then also you've got here Harry Nielsen and Sam Harper, they're not going to play. So then you go back, Alex Carey not going to play. Ben Duckett's going to be there for what? I think maybe, what did we say? Maybe a month or so, I think, maybe. I don't know exactly when he leaves, but I don't think he'll be that impactful. So maybe you could go Seifert to Duckett, but yeah, we'll see about that. Inglis could be playing Test cricket by the time that the BBL starts, given that Australia suck, simply put. And Josh Philippe is probably the best keeper we have of the lot, to be honest with you. That is safe and secure, given that he's not good enough to play international cricket, but he's a really good domestic cricketer. Averaged 44 or 45 last year. The year before that had a down year of 33. That's why everyone started him, given that he started at 102k last year. That's sort of the price range you really want to be spending on a keeper. And then the year before that averaged 58, and the year before that averaged 56. He's probably, and I'm going to say him and Inglis are far and away the best batters that have full tournament ability out of the keepers. And that's what you want, especially with those two having two of the best bowling lineups, where they're probably going to have the most fielding points as well. So that's why I'm sort of considering doing this swap of him on the single next in the next week. In the game week 2, because he probably won't move that much. I don't expect him to score a 70, projected 70, but also you have Clark that could score more, etc., and he could outscore him and do really well, because Clark's, as you see here, Clark's break even is 79. If Clark goes large and scores, say, a 110, 120, a 110, 120 is probably going to be, I would think, 10 to 12k. If Clark can mount the difference to Philippe, then he's done wonders, and he's just made that trade a lot easier. But yeah, I'm just considering going Clark to Philippe, because then the keeper position, I don't have to worry about it, and just not having to worry about that keeper position and the doubles, etc. Like you could potentially have, play like a a Ben McDermott in the doubles, etc., in the keeper position, and have like Philippi in your batter's position or Doran in your batter's position, etc., something like that, if you have enough cash gen by that point. But like that is so far later down the line that I haven't really considered it, etc. But I just want to get to sort of set and forget with the wicketkeeper's position almost, and that's what I want to do early on. Then we get to the batters. Doran, there's just no keeper here that is low enough that will make cash, and Doran could play. But if you look back at the team sheets, if he doesn't play round one, you even have Shea Hope that comes in that puts him back and even further down the order. Matt Short is the first batter here, and I think I'm going for him just because, and this is sort of minimization, because a lot of people I've seen go with Overton, and I don't mind that. The only reason I'm going with Short is in case someone here gets an injury and they're a forced trade out. Say, for some dumb reason, a Hamish McKenzie, even though I'm probably going to be trading him anyway, no, I'll probably hold him. Say a Hamish McKenzie gets an injury or something like that, and you're like, I got to trade him out now. Then that means that he goes, you don't really generate the cash needed to get up to like a Matt Short, especially if you don't have Maxwell. So you don't really get the cash generation needed. Whereas for me, I basically get to choose out of Webster and Curran, who's the one that didn't perform, etc. Who has the worst role out of these two. And I get to basically get the worst one out of the side up to a Jamie Overton, because that'll be a lot easier to get to the 204k than the extra 100k that you need out of someone to get up to Short. I think it's 97k compared to Overton. So that extra 97k comes off of like 20k here, 20k there, etc. But Hamish McKenzie, 20k, that's going down to a 49k. There's not really that other than like a 39k. Salzman, who didn't bowl on the weekend as well, so he looks like a loop option at best. I don't think he'll play as a batter only, whereas Hayden Kerr did play, so that is a watch there for the Sydney double. But yeah, it's a lot harder to move a McKenzie than it is to move like a Kane Richo or a Fergus O'Neill. Like, I will probably move a Fergus O'Neill to a 70k option or something like that for Perth or something or other like that. Maybe for Adelaide, get him. If I can somehow pull off, maybe even getting a loop, plus also Jamie Overton, Fabian Allen, and also Josh Philippi out of my selections here, I've done really well. And that would mean that I'd probably be up to about four or so starting players. Four or so complete bowlers and a complete batting lineup already, just there, like that, and also have my keeper locked in. So I'd be almost done completely. But that's sort of the plan there. But yeah, just talking about Matt Short, I think is a must now, just because we probably won't have Maxwell, and I wouldn't be. If Maxwell is available, that would change, and Short would probably still be needed, but not 100% a necessity. But I just think with injuries and stuff like that, unavailabilities and stuff, and just how low these guys are in terms of cash gen, how far in terms of a scale compared to like a Matt Short over say here, and like even just like a Glenn Maxwell is like 2/3 of the way there. But then you have like Hamish McKenzie is basically about a fifth to a quarter of the price of Matt Short. And you're only going to gain 20k out of McKenzie to get up to like a Matt Short from say a 200k guy. That's near on impossible. You're going to need like 40, 50k gains on players, which is those players in the 100k range to get to him. And there's not really many in the from Melbourne Renegades that you can do that for. So that's the reason why I think Matt Short is almost a necessity at this point. Hardy, he's the one that I brought in for the likes of Glenn Maxwell, and I spread the cash here to get the bench that I wanted. That's why I did the cash generation video, and you would have seen the sort of oldies, I would say, or the role secure players that have a potential for an expanded role that are sitting on my bench. And I fully almost trust all these guys to play on field almost, or through the flex role. And that means that, and I've said it before, that I can basically just go, oh yeah, I don't need Fergus O'Neill. I don't really need his cash. on field. So I can just drop him to a really good cash generator because we know we're going to get someone like that. Maybe it's Spores. Maybe it's Joel Davies, who really you wouldn't be picking anyway because Hussein would come straight back in for him. But say there's someone like that that's 58.5k, that's like the Chowdhury of last year. I'm setting myself up to pick that for this one for the double as well. Or I could just go straight to, if I have the luxury, straight up to Fabian Allen. But that's sort of the plan there with that. And that's the reason why I've selected all these guys, because I'm confident with them on field rather than having a Hayden Kerr here or a Ashton Turner and Renshaw down to like a Salzman, and then having Thornton and then someone else here and having a little bit more cash on field. Or maybe having a Hayden Kerr in this Hamish McKenzie spot instead with all that said and done. And having not as much cash in, because I don't want more than one loop here. I want the cash generation or the potential cash generation out of Meredith, Thornton, Renshaw and Turner, because if they all go back to their best, Turner's best, I believe, if we just go through it here, let's just quickly go through 34, 36, 27, so 36 is his best, 20, so 36 still his best, 44, 47. So 47 times about 3 is about 141. So that's 70k cash generation potentially from Turner. 70k cash generation plus Renshaw, his best is, 42. I'm guessing it will probably be 47 or so again. 1 second here, 21, that doesn't really help. 48, and then 48 for 47 again. So 48 is about 144k or so, maybe 143. So that is again 75k cash generation. So that's 140k there. Henry Thornton, I think, is about 55 or something like that. 52, 62, 62, which is about 62.8. That's probably about 190 or 188, I'd say. 188 is about 90k there. So just then you've seen, what did I say? 145 plus 90 or so k. That is 230k of established, definite role players in here. And then, yeah, so that's 230k, and that's almost what you just need itself. Then you'll have Riley Meredith, who is 45 is his probable best, give or take 45. 40 odd. 64 in 2018. Yeah, if you get, say 48 for him, given that that was an outlier, 48 for him would be around that 190k or so. Give or take, 48 is actually 140 or so. So that would be 145, say that, and that's 60k again. So that is 150 here and about 140 there. That's 290k just from the 4 on bench players between the batters and bowlers. 290k or whatever. Say it's 300k for the sake of that. 300k, if you could get those guys down to 300k, plus also these guys are priced above the 39.5s. If you could get these guys all down to the 39.5s, you'd have another, 31, 30, so say 30, 60, 120, and 44. So another 160 on. So you have 460k cash generation if you got these 4 down to 39.5ks and they return back to their best. 460k, you could get Zampa up to a Maxwell, 160k. You get Stoinis up to full price guys like Hussein and stuff like that. You could suddenly make this into a side that has full batters, full keeper, full bowlers lineup, and also sort of weird, sort of under not so good flex position. You'd have 11 or 10 guys already just from the cash generation from your bench. You'd have the top 10 guys. So that's how big this cash generation could be from these guys, and that's why I'm banking on them doing it rather than trying to go for those 105k guys, etc., who really need to go and score a 70 or 80 to really bang, where these guys just need to score a 40, etc. So yeah, Hardy, that's where I got the cash in from all that, and the 5 minutes that I talked about that. So Hardy there, I think he's going to really, with the Connolly and also Agar injuries, I think he's going to pick up some more time. Him or Turner has to, so I'm banking on one of them. As well as Hardy's just really good with the blade anyway, so I back him there anyway. Webster, I back him as well with the Maxwell injury. Him or Stoinis has to pick up bowling time, so that's why they're both in there. I'm hedging my bets on both of them, and I think he bowls 3 or 4 anyway with the Maxwell injury. Curran, I think he gets back to his best, which is like 20 points upside, etc. Which, he's going to be really good early on in the year, which should be good. 71 is his best, but other than that, I think he had another 60 year, was it? 73 the other year. So yeah, he's about 30 points unders, but I think he could get his 20 points realistically, 20 points unders and 30 points unders of his historical best. Jack Edwards, playing Shield cricket at the moment. They're about 2 hours into the game, give or take, I believe. And they are, Tasmania's 1 for 34, and Jackson Bird got the wicket first rock, and Sean Abbott and Jack Edwards 3 overs, none for 18. Sean Abbott 6 overs, none for 6, and Jackson Bird 1 for 9. So Sydney Sixers boys doing well there. And so I think Jack Edwards is a pretty good shout here for a guy that even just looking at this, I don't know if it wouldn't have the dot balls, but I'd suspect that that's probably 2 or 3 boundaries. If we just go here, we can check it. So he's got 5 dot balls. What's that? 4 no balls. Backward point, etc. So that's gone for 14 runs there in itself. 7, 9, 14. So he's lost 1 point there. So he's on to 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he'd bowl the over before this. If you would load, thank you. And that was a maiden as well. So he's up to 13 plus the maiden, 28, plus obviously the 6 economy rate bonus. So obviously that is a longer format, but you can just see how he just would pocket the points there if they don't score regularly off of him. And that's why I think him, alongside his batting, his bowling and batting and his fielding, which is good, will score points. Jai Richardson, this is just a play for round 2. Simple as that. Fergus O'Neill, probably one of the guys that I drop after round 1, simply put. I probably won't have as many Renegades in round 3, given that I'll probably be looking at Sixers and also Heat players in round 3. So Fergus O'Neill probably is the guy that drops out. I just need 1 or 2 good performances for him in the first round, given that his break-even 72. If he goes 105 plus or something like that and gains the 8K needed, then that will be huge, as that'll be up to almost the level needed for a Fabian Allen or whatever. If Fabian Allen is available for round 2, we still don't know about that or whatever. I haven't seen anything in regards to that. We are sort of banking on him being available because it would help dramatically, but also it would also help if he isn't, so that short gets more overs. So Kane Richardson, 65 break even. You just hope he beats that. Hopefully he takes some chump change at the end, because if you look at the bowling lineup for Renegades, he is their death bowler, simply put. Fergus O'Neill and Will Sutherland, if he isn't back yet, which we don't know yet. He's pretty much their only death bowler. Him and Tom Rogers, I believe, are the only 2 there. I've forgotten who their third other seamer is, but he should be good there. Stoinis, pair of 42s in the T10 league, and 42 off with the strike rate bonus that he's getting is 67 points. 67 points already beats his break even. We suspect he gets an over or 2 with the ball at least as well, so hopefully he can do something there as well. And he's got two games to play, so hopefully he can score well in the opening round. If he can score like 100 or something like that, he's going up about 250 coins per break-even difference. If he does that, and say he goes 100, then that's a 44 difference. That's like 10 to 12k that he'd go up, and he'd suddenly, very, very quickly, get to a point where he is usable as a trade piece downwards, etc. Zampa, I think he's going to be one that I hold long term, as I think he's just going to gain value. And then Hamish McKenzie with we don't know exactly what's going on with their team. This will probably be him or Paris, depending on who. And I don't think I want to go Steckity, as like I said earlier, you can kind of get yourself trapped into putting more points on field early, but sort of trapping yourself in the cash, leaving cash available. Because what about if I can't move on Steckity and I could move on like a Hamish McKenzie or a Paris, etc. Like I get stuck with like an extra 6 to 10k that's just on the bench next round, etc. That's what I'm sort of saying. If you can move that on quickly and keep that cash flowing, then you're doing really well. Because if you're moving like 70, 80k guys, you're not getting that cash on the cash on field correctly, and you're just sort of you're not moving that money quick enough. It's simple as that. And then obviously you have the bench players, Meredith and Thornton, that we went through. But that is the video there, going through all of my team reveal, which you would have seen in general, and just sort of my general thoughts about how to stack up the team early on, but also to stack it up for round 2. So just looking at this quickly, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on field that have the game 1 double, and then the round 2 double of Perth and Adelaide, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already. I've already got 5 guys for the double in round 2, and I'm projecting to get up to potentially 7 or 8 for that double in round 2. And then for the round 3 double, I will have already 1, 2, plus I'm also projecting that I'll get Philippi early, so that'll be already up to 3 before we've even got to 3 of the non-double round 1 teams. And then we'll see how many of the Melbourne Renegades stick around. I'd say it's already going to be 4, if not 5, before I even get to the trading for round 3. So yeah, you can just see how I'm already up to 8, 5, 5, etc. And then round 4, you'll have Short, plus also, I'm guessing Jamie Overton will stick around on my side, plus Henry Thornton, plus the Melbourne Stars players, which will probably be Webster, Curran, and yeah, that'll probably be that, maybe even Stoinis. So I've already got up to 5 or 6 for round 4 as well. So you can just see how I'm slowly just getting a lot of guys early. But anyway, that's the video. If you did enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. If you're watching on listening on Spotify, I should say, remember to chuck me a follow over there so you know when I upload up there. And if you want to follow all my random thoughts on Twitter and Instagram, follow me on KB Sports Fancy, and my other Twitter, etc. should be on the profile for KB Sports Fancy there. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.